Welcome to yet another session on Just for Fun. We had earlier discussed magic squares of n by n type where n is an odd number. I hope you liked those videos. We'll continue further. Today we will consider magic squares of n by n type where n is an even number and n is a multiple of 4, like n is equal to 4, 8, 12, 16, 20 and so on. So we open an Excel sheet, select a 4 by 4 square and surround it with a thick border. Then you start entering the formulas the way I had told you in my first lecture, is equal to sum of C3 to F3. So that will give you the first row. Then you copy this formula, copy the formula, not the numbers, in the remaining rows. Then we come to the columns. So this will be sum of C3 to C6. And then you copy the formula for the other columns. Copy formula. And then here we enter the diagonals. So diagonals would be C3 plus D4 plus E5 plus F6, enter. And here we copy the other diagonal, is equal to C6 plus D5 plus E4 plus F3 and enter. So you have both your diagonals over here and the rows and columns, and then we start filling in the numbers. But before we start filling in the numbers, remember that in a 4 by 4 square what you have to do is you have to make a cross over here. So you can see from one, this is one diagonal and this is the other diagonal. So all the squares which come under these diagonals, you have to form a cross. Now what we do is, in all these squares which are covered by the cross, we fill up with some letter. That should not be a number. You can fill with any letter, say A, B, C, D, anything of your choice, but it shouldn't be a number. So we write, say, A over here. Then this would be again A. This will be A and this will be A. And then similarly for the other diagonal, A, and A. Then the next step is we start filling in the numbers. The numbers are to be filled in a serial way: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, going from left to right, and one row after the row, after another row, from top row to the bottom row. So this would be 1. Now wherever the letter A is there, we don't fill any numbers and we just go ahead. So ideally number 1 should be here, but since this is filled with A, we do not fill anything, and here we fill 2. Here we don't fill 1. We assume that A 1 is over here, so we don't fill it, and this would be 2. So this will be 3, and 4 would have been here, but we don't fill 4 because this is occupied by A. So then this would be 5, again left to right in the next row. This would have been 6, this would have been 7, and this is 8. Then this is 9, this would have been 10, this is 11, and this will be 12. Then there would have been 13 over here, this is 14, and this is 15, and 16 would have been here, but there is A. Now what we do in the second step is we go from bottom to top and from right to left in exactly the opposite direction and start filling in the numbers 1 to 16, but this time we fill where the letter A was there and don't fill where the numbers are already filled in. So this A would be replaced by 1, then 2 would be here, 3 would be here, and this is 4. Then this would have been 5, but this is already filled up, so this is 6, this is 7, and this would have been 8. This would have been 9, this is 10, this is 11, and this is 12. This is 13, 14, 15 and 16 and enter. And we see all the rows, all the columns and both the diagonals are exactly 34. So our job is done. Now last time we had seen how to find what the total would have been. Now here again we see the same way, that we add the first, since it is a 4 by 4 square, the numbers are from 1 to 16. So you add the first and the last number of the entire series and then divide by 2. Here we don't get a center square, but the middle value we assume to be that. So it will be 1 plus 16, that is 17 divided by 2. So the middle value is 8.5. Though we don't fill it up, it's a fraction, but that is fine. So that is 8.5. And here n is equal to 4. So 8.5 into 4 would be 34, and 34 is your answer. So this is a 4 by 4 square. Then we see how to fill a 8 by 8 square. I have already filled in the formulas in the same way. But here what we do is, since it is a 8 by 8 square, we divide this into 4 by 4 squares. So this would be one 4 by 4 square, this would be other 4 by 4 square. If instead of 8 it was 12, there would have been a third 4 by 4 square, and if there was 16, there would have been a fourth 4 by 4 square. So that is horizontally. And even for the other rows we do the same way. So there will be one 4 by 4 square here and one 4 by 4 square here, and it would have been, had it been a 12 by 12 square, then there would have been one more and one more, and then so on till we reach the bottom of the bit square. So now in this 4 by 4 square, again we fill up the same, we made that diagonal cross. So this will be A, the same way as we did in the 4 by 4 square. And this is A, and the same thing would be A, A, A and A. See, now this is a cross for the first 4 by 4 square. Similarly, you have to make for this, you have to make for this 4 by 4 square and this 4 by 4 square. If it was 12 by 12, then again further down, and if it was 16, further down. Now instead of filling in all the squares over here with the diagonals with A, and then over here, what we can do is we can just copy this and paste over here. Now here you have to paste text, you don't have to paste formula. Same thing over here, again copy text and copy text. So you have finished with all this, right? Now see, since we have copied, the borders have disappeared, so we can again fill in the borders. That's not a big thing. You just select all the squares and so the borders are back, right? Now again you start filling in the numbers, but you don't fill 4 at a time, you fill the entire 8 at a time, and you go from 1 to 64. So here this is occupied, so you go to 2, this is 3, this would have been 4, this is 5, so this will be 6, this is 7, 8 would have been here. Then from left to right, you don't go the other way around, you go the straight way. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 and 16. Then this is 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23 and 24. 25, this is 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, this is 34, this is 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, this is 44, this will be 45, 46, 47 and 48, and this is 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55 and 56, 57, this is 58, 59, 60, 61, 62 and 63, and this would have been 64. So that is the first part. Then second part is we do exactly the same way which we did in the 4x4 square. We start from below, go from right to left, and row after a row from bottom to top. So we replace the A, so this will be 1, these are already filled up, so this will be 4, so this is 5, this would have been 6, 7 and this is 8, then 9, this will be 10, this is 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, this is 25, 26, 27, 28. Then this will be 29, 30, 31 and 32. This is 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39 and 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60, 61, 62, 63 and 64 and enter. And you see all the rows, all the columns and both the diagonals are exactly 260. So it's that simple. So now how to find out what the total would have been? So 1 plus 64 is 65. 65 divided by 2 would have been 32 and a half, and 32 and a half multiplied by 8 is 260. Similarly, you can do for 12 by 12 square. There would have been extension over here. So all this also, again you mark the diagonals with A, and there would have been extension over here also. And you fill up the numbers. If it is 12 by 12, from 1 to 144, and if it is 16, it will be from 1 to 256. So that way you can go on doing, there is no limit, and you can fill any even n by n squares where n is an even number divisible by 4. Thank you for watching this. Next time we'll do a very interesting problem, and just make sure that you watch the video, and that will be really a challenge in one. Please press the subscribe button, like and share with your friends. Thank you.